The Uchiha clan was one of the most noble and powerful clans in Konoha, feared across the shinobi world for their Sharingan and their natural battle instincts. Over time, tensions began to rise between the Uchiha and the village leadership, and during their downfall, many Uchiha were lost, leaving only a handful of survivors. The clan traced its lineage back to Indra Otsutsuki, the elder son of the Sage of Six Paths, who inherited his father's spiritual energy and powerful chakra. This was the beginning of the curse of hatred, as the Uchiha were known to feel emotions more deeply than anyone else. Boundless love for their friends and family, which turned into uncontrollable hatred when they lost them. This intense pain awakened their Sharingan, and from generation to generation, the name Uchiha struck fear into others. Their eternal rivals were the Senju, descendants of Indra's younger brother Asura, who believed peace could only come through love rather than power. Before his death, the sage chose Asura as his successor, angering Indra, who then fought to claim what he believed was his birthright. This feud carried on for centuries, long after the reason behind it was forgotten, with the Uchiha and Senju battling as the two strongest shinobi clans during the Warring States period. If one country hired the Uchiha, their enemies would counter by hiring the Senju, escalating hatred on both sides as countless comrades were lost. Everything began to change when Madara Uchiha and Hashirama Senju, both loving their younger brothers deeply and despising the sight of children being forced into war, became friends and dreamed of a future without endless fighting. But Madara eventually abandoned this dream, leading to countless clashes between him and Hashirama. Madara was the first Uchiha to awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan, and with the help of his brother Izuna, he even achieved the eternal Mangekyo. Despite this, Hashirama, as leader of the Senju, sought peace and tried to end the conflict between their clans. Although the Uchiha longed for peace, tragedy struck when Tobirama, Hashirama's brother, killed Izuna, driving Madara to reject the alliance. This grief pushed him to awaken the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and challenge Hashirama one final time. Although Madara was defeated, Hashirama spared him, and together they created a lasting peace by founding Konohagakure, the hidden leaf village in the Land of Fire. Many other clans soon joined, and the shinobi world adopted this village system as a model for peace. This marked the beginning of a new era, with Hashirama Senju elected as the very first Hokage, the leader of Konoha, forever shaping shinobi history. To push his plan of taking control over the village, Madara tried to rally the Uchiha, but many clan members didn't want to start another war. They ignored him, told him to leave the village, and so he did. But Madara later returned, ready to fight Hashirama once again. Their legendary battle created the Valley of the End, and Madara was killed in the process. Even so, Hashirama still respected him and urged the Uchiha to maintain peace with the Senju. To honor this, Tobirama established the Konoha military police force and gave it to the Uchiha, supposedly so they could use their skills and power for the betterment of the village and restore their image. However, the police force was stationed in a remote area, and the clan had little to no influence over the village's governance. Over time, many Uchiha began to feel that they were deliberately being isolated and used. After the Third Great Ninja War, the Uchiha wanted their leader Fugaku to be considered for the position of fourth Hokage, but he wasn't even taken into account. Instead, Minato Namikaze was chosen, which angered the Uchiha supporters, though Fugaku managed to calm them down. Months later, during the Nine-Tails attack on the village, the Uchiha police force was ordered to guard the borders rather than directly face the beast. When villagers realized the Uchiha's Sharingan could control the Nine-Tails, suspicion spread that the clan might have been behind the attack itself. The Hokage did not resist these orders, and after the disaster, the Uchiha were forcibly relocated to a corner of the village for security reasons. In truth, the Konoha Council had already decided that the Uchiha were responsible for the Nine-Tails rampage, and relocating them made it easier to monitor their every move. This fueled resentment within the clan, and many began to believe Madara was right all along, that the village would never truly accept them. Eventually, Fugaku began plotting a coup to take over Konoha, even planting spies within the police to monitor the Hokage, but some Uchiha, including Shisui, opposed this plan, fearing it would trigger another war. Shisui tried to use his Koto Amatsukami to stop the coup peacefully, but Danzo interfered and stole one of his eyes. After this, Danzo approached Itachi, giving him a brutal choice: either help the Uchiha overthrow the village or massacre his entire clan before they acted, saving Sasuke in the process. Choosing to protect his younger brother, Itachi reluctantly agreed. Seeking strength, he even met Tobi, whom he mistook for Madara, and with his help he wiped out the entire Uchiha clan in a single night. Itachi personally killed his own parents, while Tobi slaughtered the rest. When Sasuke found his brother standing over their parents' bodies, Itachi took full responsibility, telling Sasuke it was all his doing, planting the seeds of revenge that would later define Sasuke's path. Keeping the massacre offer a secret, Itachi accepted the burden to protect Konoha and spared Sasuke's life. Their father, however, drowned in the grief of losing his clan, wished that Sasuke would one day avenge him. That's why he wanted Sasuke to grow stronger, to become a weapon of revenge, and eventually strike Itachi down to punish him for the Uchiha's tragedy. Before leaving the village, Itachi secretly met with the third Hokage and requested him to look after Sasuke. After this incident, Konoha placed the responsibility of the military police force onto the Uchiha name, though only a few high-ranking members survived. Itachi then publicly betrayed the clan by joining Akatsuki, but secretly remained as a spy for Konoha. In the end, he was killed in battle against Sasuke, who only wished to grow stronger and avenge the clan by defeating his father. Afterward, Sasuke joined Akatsuki, determined to destroy Konoha itself. Meanwhile, Obito Uchiha, the one saved by Madara during the Third Great Ninja War, manipulated Sasuke after his brother's death by revealing the secret deal between Itachi and Konoha. But once Sasuke encountered his reincarnated brother and learned the truth, he changed his decision, realizing that destroying Konoha would make Itachi's sacrifice meaningless. Later, during the Fourth Great Ninja War, Madara Uchiha was also reincarnated, and together with Obito, they carried out the infinite Tsukuyomi plan. After learning the truth about Itachi's sacrifice, Sasuke eventually allied with the allied shinobi forces, and even Obito turned against Madara, giving up his life to correct his mistakes and end the war. With Madara's death, Sasuke became the last surviving Uchiha, but consumed by his curse of hatred, Sasuke fought Naruto to decide the future of the shinobi world. After being defeated, he was freed from his curse of hatred. Despite being branded a criminal for years, his contributions during the war led Konoha to pardon all his past sins. Years later, Sasuke married Sakura Haruno, and together they had a daughter, Sarada. Over time, much of the Uchiha's dark history was erased from public memory. Orochimaru, however, conducted experiments to create numerous clones of himself, planning to rebuild an Uchiha army. But his very creations turned against him and ended his life. The Uchiha clan itself was renowned for their natural combat skills, rapid growth, and overwhelmingly strong chakra. Their natural chakra affinity was always fire release, and among them, a shinobi was only considered an adult after mastering the Great Fireball Jutsu, the Uchiha's symbol of pride and legacy. An exceptional Uchiha could master their techniques to such a level that it would take 2 or even 3 water release users just to extinguish their flames. The Uchiha were also known in combat for their deadly skill with shuriken. Every shinobi feared the creation of their powerful fire techniques combined with their Sharingan. With the Sharingan, they could predict movements in battle, counter-attacks with perfect precision, and even copy enemy jutsu on the spot. This is why many shinobi chose to run away from fighting an Uchiha rather than face them head-on. But with all that power came tragedy. The pain of losing loved ones often triggered the awakening of the Mangekyo Sharingan. This granted them even more terrifying abilities, but the more they used the Mangekyo, the more their eyesight would deteriorate. The only way to restore it was by transplanting the eyes of a close relative to awaken the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. For example, Sasuke himself eventually obtained this power, making him far stronger. However, throughout history, the Uchiha were often misunderstood, and many of them, in their hunger for power, deliberately killed those closest to them in order to evolve their eyes. So friends, this was the history of the Uchiha clan. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and share it, and for more anime breakdowns, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, goodbye and see you in the next video.